What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and I thought it would be a fun experience if I brought my lovely girlfriend on and had her try to guess Yu-Gi-Oh card effects. Now, she will be seeing the effect, or the name of the card as well as the image of the card, and she's going to do her best to not only guess the effect, but explain why she thinks it does what it does. I tried picking cards that because of spectating, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, the first card is Ash Blossom in Joyous Spring, one of the most common cards. What do you what do you think this one does?
I know that you can stop something else from happening, so you can use it from your hand, I think. Can't you, negate, when someone else, tries to...
I'm not just going to tell you the answer.
I don't know if it's, a monster or spell card, but I know that, I ashed that. You stopped it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Final answer.
That's pretty close. I'll give you maybe a 7 out of 10 on that one. Ash Blossom does, in fact, discard itself from the hand to negate something, so that was pretty close. The next one is the Brilliant Fusion. A lot of text on that card now that I see it blurred. It's not actually that complicated. What do you think this card does?
Chad's gonna destroy me for not knowing. I should have Googled this before you asked me.
They're just called comments when it's not a live stream.
Oh. You can make an extra deck monster out of things that you normally can't.
Is that your best guess? Do you know how you make that extra deck monster or which extra deck monster it is?
No.
Okay, we'll give you a 3 out of 10.
I should have looked that one up when you asked me to do this.
We can't look them up. That defeats the purpose. Brilliant Fusion sends 2 cards from your deck to the grave to summon a guy from the extra deck.
Oh.
So 3 out of 10. Okay, one of the most commonly played spell cards, one of the things that a lot of times Ash Blossom is used against. We have Pot of Desires. Not a lot of text on it. What do you think this card does?
I get a 10 out of 10. Banish 10 face down for cost, and then you get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, that is a 10 out of 10. Now, if I would have showed you this one first, would that have helped the Ash Blossom question? Well, I mean, you were mostly right on the Ash Blossom one, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered that much. But yeah, that is exactly what Pot of Desires does. I kind of figured that would be one that would come up a lot, so maybe you would actually know that one. Okay, this is one that at the end of the WCQ, you proclaimed you finally understood what Evenly Matched did after watching me use it a lot and watching it be used on me a lot. What do you think Evenly Matched does right now?
Okay, so I don't know the logistics of the card text, but I know that you can play it when your opponent controls more cards, and it makes them get rid of cards so that they don't have more cards than you on the field.
I mean, that's pretty much what it does. It's a little oversimplified.
I said I didn't know the logistics of it.
But basically, yeah.
That's what I saw happening.
You can activate it when you have no cards on your field, and then your opponent is forced to go down to however many cards you have on the field. In the case of activating it from your hand, all you have on the field is evenly matched, so it makes the board stay even by forcing your opponent to banish all their cards face down just until they have one card like you have one card. So that's pretty close. Maybe like a 6 out of 10.
I want an 8. I get 8 out of 10.
Maybe. You didn't mention the part about action from your hand or the banishing portion. The next card is Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju. Pretty commonly played kaiju monsters. There are several others as well people play, but the most common one is Gameciel. And what do you think about this card? Once again, I would not let the blurred text deceive you. The effect is actually much simpler. It just happens to have a second effect that no one uses.
It's really pretty and has pretty good stats.
And
I've heard of it before, but I've never... I have no idea what this... I get a 0 out of 10.
Okay,
it's pretty.
What if I give you the hint of that this is a card you give your opponent?
Does it make it so that they can't attack?
No, way off.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you've seen this happen 100 times. This is a card that you can special summon it to your opponent's side of the field by tributing one of their monsters. So when you see someone place from their hand onto the other side of the field, they tribute right over one of their monsters to get rid of it.
Oh.
That's Gameciel. I'm pretty sure you've
Yeah,
seen
that's
that.
probably happened. It's pretty.
Some nice stats on
I
that
saw-
turtle. All right, this is the Swap Frog. Maybe not as important as Brilliant Fusion, but can you guess Swap Frog better than you can guess Brilliant Fusion?
I should have looked these up.
If you look them up ahead of time, it doesn't, like, that's ruining the game. Like, you know.
It makes me like I should have known that these were going to be. I should know what these are. So, Swap Frog.
There he is.
I assume that you can play him and swap him out for another card on the field, such as another frog monster. Yeah. Swap it out.
Oh, yeah? What are you...
I know, okay, I can tell at the end it says once per turn.
Does that help you at all? It is, in fact, a once per turn effect.
Oh, wait, it's something to do with the water. I can see the water.
I mean...
That's
I didn't
it.
think I'd have to blur it anymore, but yeah, it looks like, I mean, if all you can see is like a couple words, no, your glasses aren't deceiving you, it actually is blurry.
Well, I know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you one of the effects, it has many effects, one of the effects, and see if that sparks your memory at all. So the main effect of this card is that when it's summoned, it sends a frog from the deck to the graveyard. Does that help you at all?
And then you can swap it?
We'll give you like a 3 out of 10.
I know you like Swap
yes.
Frog and you like Ronin Totem.
So you can, when
And
Swap
Totally
Frog's
Awesome.
on the board, you can bounce it back to your hand. That is the swapping that's happening. You bounce it. It's not really swapping with anything in particular. It is just swapping. The frog itself is what is swapping, basically. So I don't think you really got that one. I kind of thought you would have gotten Swap Frog. If I would have asked Totally Awesome, would you have known that one at all?
I feel like you should have asked me these right after I was done watching. Like, I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Since Fort Worth.
Right. But
So I don't remember.
Toad is the seed monster that frogs make. The only
I know
thing
what
about that-
Totally Awesome... I, like, know what it looks like.
Right. But not what it does.
It's an XYZ monster.
That is technically a correct guess. All right, the last card on here, once again, kind of like Pot of Desires, pretty straightforward card here. We have Twin Twisters.
Okay, I used to know what this card did.
Okay.
Because it's kind of, like...
It's a card that's played in many decks.
Yeah. Okay, so... I'm pretty sure it's like you can discard one card from your hand to negate a spell or trap from your opponent.
I mean, like a 5 out of 10, only because you technically got 50% of that correct. You do, in fact, have to discard a card from your hand to activate this. You may have been able to see that through the blur, though. So
No, I didn't. It was just
Okay.
because those one parts were really big.
Yep. The actual effect of Twin Twisters, the nature of it being Twin Twisters, is that it destroys 2 spells and traps on the board. That is why it is Twin Twister. Versus just like a Mystical Space Typhoon singular, because this card is 2 Twisters.
But
it
you also
destroys
use 2 cards.
2 back row. It is
So
a
2 for
2
2.
for 2 trade. Well, I don't know if you scored as well as I necessarily thought.
We
that
don't
you-
need to keep track.
that you would have. Yeah, I guess I won't. What is the hardest part about Yu-Gi-Oh as a spectator sport, trying to remember them later on? Is it just too many cards? Are the images not good enough? What's like the why
You
didn't
play
you remember?
against too many people and then too many different decks, and then you do different things every game, so it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
Also,
I've
I
tried
don't like, I don't watch it all the time, so
Right.
and I don't play, so like my brain has no reason to remember it unless I'm going to event after event. So like if you would have asked me
right
back at the
after forward.
WCQ
Maybe
when
it
I
would've been a
had
little
just like gone to like a couple events, maybe I would have done better.
Well, in some ways you did okay remembering the more commonly played cards. Little hurt you did not know either Brilliant Fusion or Swap Frog, but nevertheless, great job. We'll say you got a C+ on this particular blurred
Hey.
cards questioning.
That counts as a passing grade for even a bachelor's degree prerequisite.
I
so.
suppose it does.